Hello, Kaiko here, and welcome to the chaos. Let's go. Anyway, we're doing the trial of Furina. And now Fremene's here. Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still going? Fremene, you finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission? Any mission farther, sciencey will always be top priority. With some help from the other Fatui, Fremene brings a stone slate onto the stage. They found the missing slate! Is that the first prophecy slate? Huh? So the knave privately arranged for Fremene to try and find the missing slate. I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded? Then does that mean I've come too late? Or, oh no, Father will be disappointed in me. Don't worry, the mystery hasn't been resolved yet. It's still not too late for you to shine. Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremene. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate. Kaiko, I believe that you have also already seen the other existing slates. I would like you to also come here and confirm their contents. Huh? So what do you see? What is it? This looks like the previous Hydra Archon releasing her divine power, turning the Oceanids into human beings. Huh? Wait. Turning the Oceanids into human... Okay. I believe I have now made sense of the Hydra Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history. Huh? Isn't the Hydra Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Wait, no, that's Furina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydra Archon. So when you say Hydra Archon, do you mean the real Hydra Archon we've been kind of talking about? In truth, everything you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you. An association between the contents of the slates and the events in real life. Okay, let's try and recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates. Hyman will do her best to help you remember. Okay. Okay, we get to see the truth. I like it. All events relate to the prophecy... something. First stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydra Archon using her divine power and that the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean the Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? I was expecting that, but if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well. The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky and the Hydra Archon and their people worshipping it together, but the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. This is the point when the Hydra Archon and the Fontainians are branded with their original sin. Does this mean the original sin and the Hydra Archon sin are the same thing? The third state shows the Hydra Archon sinking into the sea, surrounded by many people. Huh? That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch this happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is a prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea and the Hydra Archon crying on her throne, and so on. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? But after that incident, it was just a question of when and not if. Okay. Okay. Have a good sleep, and hopefully I will see you next time, which will be on Wednesday. But we'll be doing Nikki. Okay, what's this? Prophecy Slate 1. The stone slate in the ruin showing the prophecy describes the history of the future. The stone slate in the ruin showing the prophecy describes the history of the future. The first piece that was originally missing has been found by Fremene. It seems to show the former Hydra Archon using divine power to turn oceans into people. Okay, verify the truth. Okay, it turns out Fontainians can be dissolved by water from the primordial sea. Over the years, Basha kidnapped and dissolved many young girls for his experiments to try and find a way to bring them right back who had been dissolved. Guilty. Okay. Is it this one? Okay. We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontainians can be dissolved into primordial seawater. And the first stone slate tells us that long ago the Hydra Archon used her power to turn oceans into humans. This might be the reason that Fontainians can dissolve. The fact that Fontainians can dissolve in primordial seawater, becoming Oceanids, is proof of their origin. Okay. Okay, this one is the stone slate and the ruin showing... Okay, so this is the second slate. Shows Celestia floating in the sky and the Hydra Archon and her people worshipping it together, but the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. Okay. Hydra Archon is guilty to be punished by death? Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydra Archon that Neuvillette mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia as recorded on the stone slates. A sentence never before passed in the Court of Judgment has been handed down to the Hydra Archon. Just what kind of sin merits such a verdict? Okay. It shows the Hydra Archon sinking to sea surrounded by many people. Is this the Navia bit? What happens if you try and do this one? Okay, that doesn't sound quite right. Okay, fine. Okay, Navia. It's not as simple as falling into the sea. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was subjected to judgment. The stone slate showed the people gathering around the Hydra Archon in the sea. Could that be alluding to the same thing? That's when the ruined Navia fell into water containing primordial seawater. Okay. It shows a scene that basically identical to that described in the prophecy circulating throughout Fontaine. Fontaines will eventually be dissolved into the sea, and the Hydra Archon will sit alone on her throne and weep. Is this the end thing? No. Is it this? The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meripede was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontaines to dissolve. It seems increasingly likely the prophecy may come true. If we hadn't dealt with it in time, things could have gone very badly. They'll dissolve into the primordial sea, but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an oceanid. The Hydra Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside these ruins as she needed to dissolve. She was surrounded by people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay. Ah, okay. Oh, is that like what's happening here? The eruption of the primordial sea at the Fortress of Meripede was the surest sign the prophecy was about to come to pass, no matter what. The stone slate's contents can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together, loads of truth should come to light. Huh? Oh, Pyramid gets it now, so that's how you can make sense of it. But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelations. Let's hear them. The first slate reveals that Fontainians are not real humans. Incredible! Linny, did you hear that? We're not real humans? All Fontainians were originally created by the late previous Hydra Archon, with oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontainians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vasha dissolved were also turned into oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around her for a trial, all of them in the shape of oceanids. Indeed. The second slate reveals that the crime of the Hydra Archon was her creation of Fontainians from oceanids. Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior permission. That could also explain why the Arishis judged the Hydra Archon to be guilty, as to account for that ancient sin. The Hydra Archon's true sin was creating us. And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydra Archon's creations have turned around to try and judge the Archon within the Opera Epic layers. The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all. As for the third slate, I'm still convinced it should come after the fourth slate. Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydra Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate? The fourth slate depicts the fulfillment of the prophecy as is already widely known. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters and only the Hydra Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Palmon get all that right? You've made some keen deductions, I must say. Given how much you still don't know, it is impressive you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they also have been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source. When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates, but since we only had 3 slates at the time, I was unable to come to a full conclusion. Now the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes well, we should finally be informed of the unadulterated truth. Ooh. Well, did you get it? I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you. The hypothesis regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydra Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydra Archon sensed the yearning of her ocean familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings and wished to have those experiences for themselves, express to the Hydra Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydra Archon, as one of the seven, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the ocean's blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with the water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids. Oh. Is it osmosis? Is that what this was this whole time? Because I thought it was something like the two counteracting, but it just says if they come into contact with water, the power within their bodies would escape the restraints and return to the sea. It's osmosis. Oh no. Well, maybe it's like the opposite of osmosis. It's like anti-osmosis. It's being sucked back out. Oh no. They got like osmosis. And that makes so much sense. It's like the water went out, the humanness disappeared, and you're left with Oceanid, as opposed to like the water coming in and turning them into Oceanids. It's the lack of water. I see. Oh dear. Okay. Of course, the Hydra Archon never received permission from the Heavenly Principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydra Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being. So we were all Oceanids before we were turned into human beings? That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend I never heard a single thing. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydra Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating us. This really might be too much information for your regular Fontainian, but it does answer a lot of our questions. Alas, the hypothesis regarding the third and fourth slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct. So in the right order, what is a third slate supposed to represent then? A key point to the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies the water depicted in the slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is now the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trial and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navi's experience when she fell into the sea. Her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others, who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is... Oh, have we triggered the prophecy? Do you need to judge the Hydra Archon? That the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydra Archon at the court of justice. It can't be! Yes, it refers to our present situation. I think I'm following now, so what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy, you fulfill the prophecy! In truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold, so now it seems we're the ones making sure it comes true. What should we do? I don't know, it feels like there's no way out of this. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled. Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner of fate? If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon? Kaiko, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About the fourth slate, you probably thought the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes? However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before. I have? Wait, could it be? Giant whale? I know the giant whale has got to come up somewhere because child is still missing. Is it the giant whale? The ultimate proof? Or was it his vision going wonky? The afternoon was just a small warning of things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster. Okay. Is it this? No? Okay. Is it the trial? Okay, no, it's probably this, the giant whale. Is it the giant whale? It's the giant whale. It was both dream and reality. Oh yeah, he's in the primordial sea right now. We never figured out why we have his vision though. If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right? The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster. Oh no, why is it purple? That's never good. Ooh. Why is it happening now? Well, I guess that answers the question of what child has been this entire time. He's fighting a whale! That was way too close. How did that thing that just burst into the how did that thing just burst into the opera house? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream? That's right, I wager that it's also the one that Child saw when he was young. So we've met it at last. I understand very well it has chosen to make an appearance here. Oh, why it has chosen to make an appearance. That whale does not belong to Teyvat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be... He said that when the Hydra Archon first created Fontainians out of oceanage, she filled their bollard vessels with primordial seawater. Oh, it's gonna eat the people. Precisely, that whale finds the blood of Fontainians nigh impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food in the form of Fontainians. We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength? That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank the Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. Child is living his best. Is that why he was sentenced to be guilty? Just to send him to go and fight the whale? Because I think he's been having a great time. I think he has. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time. That battle maniac. We've always known that he has a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy. All we need to do to stop the prophecy would be to find a way to beat it up, right? It is too late. What do you mean? It has already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself. Even if the entirety of Teyvat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world. That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. You've come so far. You can't just tell me the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair. Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end. I'll fight to the end, no matter what. The prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh? Okay, what are we thinking about? The prophecy, yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future. After everything, it's all turned out like this. We couldn't fight against fate. Wait, but if this is all about fate... Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspective of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide no matter what will happen into that future. All you need to do is to play your part. Could it be that even the prophecy will be fulfilled, there is still a way to save everyone? Did I miss something? Is this the foreshadowing from the previous streams? Wait, I forgot about Furina. What was it that she wanted to say to me at the last moment in the giant magic box? What is her real secret? Well, now what?
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Furina! No, I still need answers.
Hmm? Hello? What is happening here? Who is this? You. Ha 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 ha. Oh, her name is, Furina? Sorry, the shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself. You are not Furina. Who are you? Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalors, you know, the god. Focalors, why did you deceive us? Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving. The heavenly principles. Deceiving the heavenly principles? It's all because of that pernicious of that prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve, Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused. When the problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor, that's the former Hydro Archon Agaria. For the uninitiated, it hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained natural catastrophe now, does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor, and I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realised there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I am a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Agaria chose me as a successor. Although looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans. I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this any more than I chose to be one of her oceanid familiars. So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Agaria's hand? Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human, and I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. Ah, okay, so she's the god and this is the body. Interesting. The me you see before you now is the divinity, and the human counterpart I left behind I named Furina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Furina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way, the person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course, the plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy, the Hydra Archon alone weeping on her throne? In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Furina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydra Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, first laws of divinity, continued to exist, she could not die, but nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Ah, I see. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, or to create a deceitful appearance of the prophecy coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese. But Furina is only human, isn't she? Does that mean like epic opera? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom that what she has had to endure, it must have been torture for her. It has indeed, and although she is, in a sense, me, in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years. And all along she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time. I came into contact with Furina's tears. If I remember correctly, tears often contain a being's strongest emotions. With sufficiently strong hydrosensitivity, I can form an emotional connection just like I did with the Oceanids at the Fountain of Lucine. Wait, could this be Furina's inner world? Furina? What is she doing on stage? Wait a moment, that probably isn't Furina. That's likely a reflection of her inner self. If I can directly speak to that self, I might be able to easily get what I wanted to know. Wait, were we in a separate little dream than Nouvellette? Did he go into like one aspect and we went to another? I came here for answers. Either way, this opportunity is not to be missed. Let me try talking to her. Okay. Well, let's go and talk to Furina. Can I? No, we gotta go the long way. Okay. Okay, Furina. Furina, what is this? Furina. Furina. Oh, who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules. Come on as me, Furina. Come on as me. Alright, it's not my intent to reprimand you. There's no need to state your name, just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance. Don't look at me, don't look at me. But I don't see an audience here. Huh? Do you jest? Can you not feel it? Just let the stage lights go off, please, if only for 1 second. I am Focalors. The eyes of the countless Fontainians are upon me. I must at all times display the utmost elegance and ability. That way I can become myself again. Okay, this must be Furina talking, and then this must be her inner thoughts, saying like, please, don't look at me. She doesn't want to be observed, but we're always observing her. Something's off, there's no getting it through to her, even in her heart of heart, she's still playing the role of the Hydra Archon. What sort of resolve must she have that even her inner self and subconscious would have such an impenetrable defense? I have to find a way. Something's off, there's no getting through to her, even in her heart of heart, she's still playing the role of the Hydra Archon. Yep, cool. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the lights. Ooh, that makes sense because it did say turn off the lights. Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but don't worry, the guards shall resolve it soon enough. No, I don't want to fight. Okay, it says, a cry without echoes, shackles. That is who we are fighting. We're fighting the shackles. I like it, it's quite poetic. Very poetic indeed. But quite sad. Poor Furina. Okay. Okay, well let's turn off this second light. Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know? Guards, wait, where are the guards? Guards! This is a silence without end. Chains. They've brought shackles and now we're fighting chains. Okay. Ooh. Okay, and the last light? As all the spotlights turned off, in Furina's heart, they must have symbolized the eyes of the people on her. Speaking of which, I think I just received some sort of signal. Was that her true voice? A ticket? When did that end up here? Either way, look, the show is about to begin. In that case, show me how you truly feel, Furina. Scene 1 before a mirror, Furina. Wait, there's a... Does that have sound? Okay, no, it doesn't. Okay, cool. I am Furina. Okay, scene 1 before a mirror. Okay. Furina? Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you? Be not nervous, be not afraid, I am before you. Wait a moment, you're Mirror Me? How can this be? Mirror you? Huh, you know what? That's not bad, let's go with that. Mirror Me, what do you wish to say? The prophecy, have you heard of it? What prophecy? Oh wait, I think I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. People will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydra Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Oh, very good, you know it well. What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass? Yes, it will, and that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it. But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too? Don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat. Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for suffering, well, I will admit the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I will also die anyway, right? So if I have already met you as my magical meeting in this world... If there were scales, all the people of Fontaine on one side and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scale should tilt? You truly are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you. Huh? Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen, well, Fontaine has just lost its Hydra Archon. I need you to play a role, that of the new Archon. Play as a god? That's right, you must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. Her hair's changed. Did she used to have the little tails? I mean, because obviously this Focalors does, but did Furina have the tails? Because she doesn't now. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost. But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed? Don't worry, what you must do is not turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity. I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try to do this. So how long am I going to have to play this role? To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends. But I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved. A trial? Huh, how exciting. I'll be looking forward to it. Scene 2, Ascension Speech, Furina. Yeah, see, she has the hair. This must still be divine Furina. Maybe human Furina is when she cuts it short. Because I know when you play with Furina, you have the two versions. Interesting. Oh, really? You're gonna make me climb up the stairs? You're fine, you can climb up the stairs. We guess we're gonna sit on her throne. Phew, the Maison Cardalis has announced my ascension, but this is my first time facing the people. Oh, so maybe before she was human, so she had short hair, but now she's got long hair, because this is her, like, being an Archon. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try and act natural. Summon courage. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epic Les. I'm sure you've all heard about how I've taken on the role of Hydra Archon. Indeed, I am Furina de Fontaine, your new Archon. A bit earnest. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honour to guide you all. As the god, Focalors, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice. Glows politely. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardalis. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully I'm able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next? That's the new Hydra Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive. Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end. Shouldn't gods be all powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person then? If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison back puppet. Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is bad. If I get exposed here, there'll be no saving the people from the prophecy. Right, mirror me, so I just need to play the role of God as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Furina. Think. What do the people want? How would they imagine a god to speak and act? Assertive, with a strong sense of presence, one who can dispel all doubt, that is the character I am fated to play. Haha, very good, my people. Only one such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering, if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self, here in this opera house. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced. Ah, so much as a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house? Such personality, it is quite shocking to be honest, but I suppose it's better than look than before. Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful, our future may yet be bright after all. This tells you exactly how she ended up the way she was. Like, exactly. It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my ascension speech. Summon courage resolutely with conviction. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that the nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin. A bit earnest, turn up the drama. The scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. On one side, I must carry fairness and justice, and on the other, praise and applause. May law be the prayer on our lips, may judgment be our worship. Let us light the fire and drink to the future of Fontaine. End the speech emphatically. There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart and soul. So long as I, the Archon Focalors, stand within the opera declares, so long as I stand before the oratories, I shall even judge the gods of this world. Oops, and cheers from the audience. Acting Archon Furina and True Self Furina. Makes sense. Scene 3, Opera House Furina. So look, now we've got... Oh no, we had the hair already. Okay. Oh yeah, we're doing this all as a play. Forgot about that. Lady Furina, here are today's case reports as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal. Come now, was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things for Nouvellette. Besides, only these trials were the ones that I'm looking forward to the most. If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to? A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial, a trial to end all things. How could you hope to understand? That's true, I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon. No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now to your duties, the trial I await, it will come one day. Lady Furina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me. No need to thank me, rather thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm. Alright, dear Terrier, is it? How is your son's illness? You remembered me, and you knew my family too. He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you and to bring your words back to him. Good, very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going down to citizens' homes every so often, while not usual practice, should serve as a fine change of pace. You've such a gentle and wise god. Thank you once again on behalf of my son. Did she go to people's houses and heal them? Oh, that's really sweet. Is that why, like, this Furina is the healing Furina of the two? I think it's the healing Furina. We'll have to check. I think so. Because she goes to people's houses and heals them? Like Archon Furina? Lady Furina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked us to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good. I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far human wisdom would allow you to analyze it. All manner of signs indicate the prophecies will still come to pass. Forget it, that's not something you need to worry about right now. Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels. Really? Have they found anything? I'm afraid they haven't found any effective solutions thus far. Is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy. You make a good point. She doesn't have any powers. That was a big point we just had. Or maybe this is... Then how did she help? Or was it completely unrelated? Did she bring a doctor with her? Maybe that's what she would have done. The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time. But it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of suspicion. Maybe this is fine. I need to keep going and everyone will be saved. Phew. Alright, Furina, don't think too hard about this. You need rest. Tomorrow's a new day. Scene 4. Opera House Furina. Lady Furina, here are the new trial reports of the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up. There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already. There's no need to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before. Lady Furina, I've waited for so long for the chance to see you in this manner. Indeed, my dear loyal citizen, the joyous moment is an honor for us both. Lady Furina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson. Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should anything come up at the Institute. Phew, I don't think I let anything slip today. I must show the people that there is nothing to worry about. I just don't know when these days will end. I feel utterly exhausted. Best to rest early today too. Scene 5, Opera House Furina. This is real Furina. Oh look, she's wearing the dark clothes as well. Yes. That's that. She's got like white shorts on versus black shorts. Scene 182375, Opera House, Furina. Lady Furina, it's like a dream being able to speak with you up close like this. I've heard the first member of the family who was honoured to receive an audience with you was Madame Euteria almost 20 generations ago. Ah, and what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer, a descendant of a line most ardent. Surely you exaggerate, Lady Furina. My lady? What is it, good citizen? Are you crying? Huh? Really now? I didn't even notice. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose domain is the waters, can I? No wonder, a manifestation of your power then. Oh, Archon, I am honoured to have witnessed it. Honoured indeed. So interminable, so lonely, just how much longer? Hundreds of years must have passed by now, perhaps this show must go on for hundreds more. I never imagined that it would hurt so much. Have I reached my limit? No, perhaps I reached it long ago. Today I didn't even notice my own tears. I want to tell anyone about this, but would that not destroy all I've done so far? I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries, but there's not even a sliver of hope that we might break the prophecy. All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please mirror me, you have to succeed. Oh no. Scene 182376, Opera House, Furina and... Furina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you. That's my voice. Is this scene from when we were within that giant magic box? This is great. I didn't think the scene would replay in her inner world. Surely I'll find out what she wanted to tell me this time. Share my burden? That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone. But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share with me and what you call a witness. A witness? Ah yes, I've heard that you came to Tivat from beyond the stars. Yes, in other words, you never belonged here. And if Tivat is in its entirety a show on a stage, then you are just a spectator, aren't you? If that's the case... She's right, I could confide in her, couldn't I? But if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine will be the ones to pay the price. No, Furina, you shouldn't be selfish. See look, she's wearing the dark clothes. Other Furina. But what if it's really alright? Furina, you've worked so hard for so long, surely it would be okay to put yourself first for once, just this once. It's such an outrageous thing to do anyway, to find someone in whom you can confide your frustrations and sorrows. Surely it could not hurt. If this opportunity slipped through your fingers, it might never come by again. Think about it long and hard. No, I have nothing to say. I am Furina, the Archon of Fontaine. Everything will surely get better. What you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall. She wasn't going to tell us. Oh dear. Fine. So even if Furina doesn't know the truth, you've never once let her in on the full plan? Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. Oof. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all. I believe I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine? That is the most important thing. Ah, good, good. Of course, the Udex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes? I've always suspected it had its own consciousness, and Linny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems the person was you, hidden within the machine all along. Am I right? And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no act of justice, it is in fact a device created to kill the god of justice. Huh? Huh? I beg your pardon? Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. That would explain the giant sword! I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Furina suffered? My work over these last 100 years has been to constantly accumulate indiventium within the Oratrice. Though really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be accumulated to enact this death sentence. It was all part of your plan then, both the trial and the sentence. Indeed, this power accrued over 5 centuries could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the Oratrice. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydra Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia and breaking through the institution that is the Seven. Okay. So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Furina nor Focalors, but for the Hydra Archon. The destruction of the divine throne, if I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydra Archon to the Hydra Dragon of this planet. But it was foreshadowing! I see. What? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydra Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make? Hee hee hee. All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end? I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked. Hydra Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the Heavenly Principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Agaria stole the power of the Primordial Sea, and the Heavenly Principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the God of Justice, and is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the Primordial Sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Agaria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence. Defying the prophecy and ensuring the Fontaine people shall live on, that should be the justice enthroned above all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontainians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Udex Nubila, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us? So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Udex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last, I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence, but these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us, and I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know I could never declare them to be guilty. Oh, she's smart. She planned everything. Oh, what's happening?
salvation is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervalette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Thank you, Furina, for all you have done. From this moment on, please live happily as a human. Just as I wish we could.
I, Iudex Nervalette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you'd like to see me play live, then check out my Twitch channel. You can find me on Wednesdays and Sundays at 8 PM GMT. Thanks again, and have a great day.